tonight.
Just thinking that, yeah. Says we're going live.
All right.
Says we're going live. Says we're here.
Well, I know I'm here.
No, I am not all here. That's impossible. I left some of my brain cells in my computer over in the corner.
I'm physically here, but I'm not sure I'm fully mentally here either.
No, I'm kind of hoping that this this live stream. Oh, a Biden ad. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this live stream will rejuvenate me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for. Thank you, Kim. I'm going to say hello to folks. Hi, Claire. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Raven. I saw where you were like, I'm going to change my name. So I'm, hi, Raven. Hi, Cheeky Luna. Hi, Kim. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Eva. Hi, Mr. Spock. Hi, Silent. And yes, I echo those who have also said it. Welcome to our first timers.
Yep.
I hope we don't scare you off.
Yeah. It can be a bit chaotic at times.
Hi, Love Not Hate. Hi, Bad Cat. Hi, Molly. Hi, Fracture Falcon. Hey, I'm here for lurkers. I am a lurker.
We love our lurkers.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because if not, then none of the people I watch love me, and then that would make me sad. Hi, Aaron. Hi, X. What have I got? What am I going to say? We should probably say, hi, Pinky. We should probably say, as folks are joining us, loving BDSM, yeah, Kayla, JB, yay! I don't feel like doing the intro tonight. Monthly live stream. It is, we call it a virtual Munch. Yep. In about 30 minutes, 10 p.m. Eastern, it also becomes a Q&A. We'll tell you how to get your question in. If you have a question when we get there, we like the first 30 minutes to sort of ease in. Especially with the way we're feeling, we need to ease in. Yeah, we both have headaches. I took something. JB can't take anything because then he wouldn't be able to take his back meds tonight, and he needs to take his back meds. I'm hoping the Tylenol kicks in. I just had to, unclench my jaw, and I think that's part of where the pain is coming from, is I'm very tense and tight.
Right, Kim? At least she knows who she is tonight.
That's true. For now, I mean, give me a minute.
Yeah.
Love Not Hate. We are mostly ready for a break.
I think so.
I think mentally and spiritually, yes. Physically, yeah, I got the things done that I was like, I am getting these things done this week, and I did. That's why I have a headache. And you're right, Silent. There are no adult beverages. It did not work out the way we originally thought it might.
I ended up getting a little dehydrated today.
Yeah. Yep.
So I've been trying to make up for it.
Yep. Hi, Mally. Ooh, Onyx is in. Is Onyx going to come get up on the table where folks can see her? Is she going to flash her butthole at, anybody who watches? Hi, Allie. Silent, you are so right for that.
Yeah, right.
Silent says, is there any beverage more adult than this is the water I take my back pills with? No. The only one that maybe would be more adult is this is the water I take my hormones with, my estrogen with. I don't know. Hi, DS Bunny. Luna, we get to do yard work on Sunday.
Yeah.
So yay for that.
Yeah, it's been pushed back to Sunday.
Oh, ma'am, the microphone cannot help you. Are you going to purr into it? I know everybody here would be happy to hear you purr. But she got scared when somebody came over. Somebody we actually wanted in our house, and we were happy that they were here.
Yeah.
But she was not expecting it. Hid in the closet, skipped her dinner, has been aggressive in requesting love and attention.
Yep. And on the other hand, Lola was totally enthralled with our guest.
I don't know how to drink. I have a hole in my mouth.
A hole in your lip?
Yeah. I mean, I have a hole that is my mouth, but then I apparently have a secondary hole that I don't know about. Oh my God.
So, Lola was totally enthralled with our guest today.
Oh yeah, she was in love.
Oh yeah.
Y'all went outside to. It was a play date between two people who like wood and tools. Okay. It was a play date that lasted hours, and the kids are coming out of their bedrooms going, "Who the hell is in our house?" And I was like, I thought they would play outside to men of an age of a height as well. Y'all are like, y'all could be brothers. I'm sorry. Anyway, so Lola gets her lovin' from him while he's in the house. Y'all go outside to the shed. She immediately goes to this back door just behind the camera and is like, bitch, are you letting me out? So of course I did. And I watched her for a minute, but I wasn't sure. Did she come up to y'all and demand?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, we were out in the tiny shop, and oh yeah, she came out there like she owned the place, and you know, yeah.
She is what is Lola? She's a
Staffy.
A
Staffordshire Terrier.
Which kind though? There's the American and there's the English.
She's American,
Okay.
as far as I know.
She probably is. She's probably not 100% purebred, but
Yeah, we never had a DNA test.
no.
But
I would do that for her. I will not do that for me because it's the one time I'm like, I don't want an online company having my data, like my literal genetic data. But I would do it for her.
And Kim, that's actually true. A pit bull is not a true breed. It's, I think, if I remember correctly, what I read, it encompasses 3 different breeds under that umbrella.
Yeah, and it's a type of dog or a dog with a certain look. I can't remember how it's classified.
Yeah.
So yeah, she is a pitty, but also she's a Staffy.
And I came across something that was absolutely fascinating in regards to these breeds of dogs. And listening to this, it made total sense. All right, now I know Staffies, because that's what we have. Okay, they are very oriented in pleasing their masters, their owners.
Gotcha.
Okay, and apparently it is because of that that they were chosen for pit fighting.
Oh wow! Oh god, that's depressing.
I know, right? Because they are so willing to serve and do what their master wants them to do.
Poor
but
babies.
by nature, they are not.
Sure, yeah.
An aggressive
the thing
dog.
is the most an animal is only going to be aggressive if given a reason. That's either instinctive or training, but they're not like. And I'm not all animals, obviously. There are predators that are aggressive because they're hungry, but like, I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, she's not in here right
She's
now.
not
She's
in
still
here.
not in here.
She's sound asleep on the sofa.
She cuddled up to me for a while. She
Yeah.
was very annoyed with me for a few days because it had been a hot minute since I'd had time to sit on the couch and she could do her cuddle. And so the past 2 nights I've had time to just sit on the couch and she's been right up against me. And it's fine when it's her head and I'm like, got my arm around her and she's looking up at me adoringly and I'm like, oh my God, I'm in love with you. It's awful when she turns around and puts her butt into me because she just leans in and I am not a small person. And I have a third of the couch until she puts her butt into me. And then I have 20 to 25% of the couch. And it is painful. And these hips, not only do they not lie, they do not like being compressed. So then I'm done with her being on the couch with me.
And a couple people said they are blanket thieves. Yes, they are.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Yeah. Lola was a rescue too. We do not know very much about her before life.
We know that she was shot.
Yes.
In the paw and then
In the
had
leg,
surgery. Leg, yeah. And then had surgery, and now one leg is just always going to be shorter than all the others. We know something happened in her formative life involving somebody holding a stick, a bat, something long and cylindrical.
Yeah.
Because the only time she loses her absolute shit is if there's a pest control person anywhere and they're holding the wand that they spray with. That's her big girl voice. That's her, oh, I'm now terrified of dogs too voice. Like, she does not play. Also, we know that she loves to only, when it's a vehicle, certain types of trucks and Jeeps.
Yeah.
She'll chase the fuck after.
Try to, anyway.
Right. Cars, minivans, doesn't give a fuck.
Yep.
Big trucks and Jeeps. I don't know what that's about.
Yep. So,
yeah. Yeah, she has a scar that runs, so there's her big old paw, and it goes up in her leg, and like the lower part of her leg into her paw, there's just this diagonal scar that runs across where she had surgery.
Yeah, when they were able to save her leg, but the in saving it, it actually lost like an inch, 2 inches,
something like that.
Yeah. Mr. Spock, sometimes it does seem to bother her.
Long walks, it definitely does.
Long walks, it doesn't. It definitely does. We do have, before we take her on walks, we do have medication to give her to help. Now, there are times she gets the zoomies.
Oh my gosh.
And you would never know.
She's not a graceful girl, much like her mother. She's not a graceful girl. She gets the zoomies, and it's a galumph kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she's big, and so her hips don't lie either. They do get into everything. But she only gets the zoomies for like a good 30 seconds, and then she's tired. She's laying down.
Yeah.
And is that her leg? Is that, her size? Who knows?
And sometimes when she gets wound up, and I call it this because I came across it on Instagram one time, she will do with me the pity tango.
Oh.
When, how she gets when she kind of like hunkers down, and then she...
I would never have called it that, but okay.
And the only reason I called that because I saw someone.
The internet told you
the
that.
internet told me that, gave me that name.
Yep.
So yeah, now I call it the pity tango when we dance like that.
Yeah. She cracks me up.
Yeah. She's a pistol.
Somebody, I can't remember who, and I'm so sorry if you're here and you're like, that was me. Somebody suggested that for more Loving BDSM merch, we need a shirt, because I keep saying it in videos that we record, because she keeps fucking howling in the background. Lola agrees. Also, somebody else mentioned, and I'm sorry, I cannot remember who, especially if you're here. I'm so sorry. I need to do a shirt that just says, just do what Daddy says, which I think that would be a very good
right.
shirt.
That's true.
So I'm very proud of her. We had to be like non-chaotic and professional and record a thing, which we'll be able to talk about in about 10 days.
Yeah.
What that is. But we were professional, non-chaotic, and there is no Lola howling in the background of that.
No, I don't know how we pulled that one off.
Because we took our fucking time and we stopped. Anytime there was like a slight noise, there was going to be a disruption, we just figured out where we were, and I had a fucking script, y'all, and where we were in the script, stopped, dealt with the noise, I cut that out. I knew this because I'm very self-aware, very to a probably a not good degree. I knew, and y'all know, that we ramble, we are story repeaters. We'll make our point multiple times. Now that's a little bit of a thing that I have heard a few times with, anytime you're trying to tell somebody something you want them to remember, you say it multiple times.
Reinforcement.
Right.
Yeah.
But I had to take 53 minutes of content and knock it down to 30 minutes or less. And that is when I was reminded of how rambly and repeaty we and still, even in that, we weren't chaotic.
No.
We were just overly enthusiastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, Silent. It was fancy. I was very impressed with myself. It's not the first time I've written a script. It's not even the first time we followed a script.
Mm-hmm.
But for most of our content, it's like, no.
Nope, we wing it.
We wing it. We wing it. Thank you, Allie. That is one of my favorite shirts.
So you're getting a lot of feedback on the two shirts there.
I know. I'm in total control of that. I just have to sit and do it.
Yeah.
I can't stop clenching my jaw.
Oh gosh.
God. So. What else? No, it's in not a bad way. In all of the ways, it's same shit, different day. There's been no new stressors.
True.
Count that as a success.
I got to go to the sawmill today.
I know. You did. That was part of your play date.
Yeah.
Gone for like hours, y'all. The sawmill is 15 minutes away. Hours. I didn't care as long as I didn't have to fucking
More like
go.
20, 25 minutes away. Traffic.
With traffic. Hours these people were gone. And came back with a whole bunch of wood, which is what the whole point was. But
yeah, that was fun. Always enjoy going to the sawmill.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that you got to take a friend this time, I think made it more special.
Yep.
And then your sawmill guy, who adores you, likes your friend. Mm-hmm. So win-win. Raven, we have not done cricket t-shirts. Part of it is the little bit of artwork I have with crickets was gifted to us by an artist, and I just kind of always said I would never sell that. I have permission to, but I was like, no, that's special. I'll keep that for other purposes. So I've not found good cricket artwork that I would use. I could absolutely just make a shirt that's like, I'm a proud cricket or whatever, and it could be part of our merch, but yeah, we did for a very short amount of time, Proud Cricket and Loving BDSM merch through our Patreon. That shit was expensive. I did it for like, a year-ish? Maybe not quite. And I was like, we can't do that anymore. That's expensive.
You know what? Yeah, I think I did do a cricket shirt back in the day when we did Redbubble.
Oh, yeah, we might have done it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We still have Redbubble. It's just,
I know.
I'd rather control it more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I have not looked into the legality use of emojis. I know people will use emojis, and maybe it is perfectly legal to use emojis, but I will only do it if I'm positive it's legal to use an emoji. Yeah, because I'm not getting my shit taken down because of trademarks or copyright or... Oh, my goodness. So, I have access to some stuff that there might be artwork I can use legally that I'm okay with, but I haven't really sat and looked either. I'm at a point right now, anybody who's been here for more than a minute will not be surprised by this. I have all of the things I want to do for all kinds of different projects and none of the time to do any of it, and yet I also have that voice in my head that was like, if you just focused on one thing and only did one thing, sure, you'd be bored to tears, but maybe you could make that one thing bigger than it's ever been. And I'm like that. Maybe, but I like to do lots of things. I just never have time for all the things I want to do. So.
Yeah, Raven, we actually did the Redbubble way back in the beginning.
If on our website, it is probably still linked somewhere.
But we never really promoted it and pushed it very much.
No. it was at a time when everybody was like, oh, you have a podcast, you have this, you have that, you have like community who like gives a shit about your, you know, the in jokes and the proud crickets and stuff like that, as an example. Do Redbubble or do something like Redbubble. And I was like, yeah, sure, that seems easy. And then I understood that I have more now, but still not a lot, not great design skills. Like, that's a skill I'm teaching myself. And then I was like, oh, I don't necessarily like these things. I don't think I'll promote it. But it still lives there. I think, like in the past 6 months, somebody bought like a sticker off of our Redbubble.
Oh gosh.
But see, Redbubble does not pay you out till you hit a threshold.
Threshold, yeah.
Never hit the threshold.
No. So. Well, DS Funny, I'm glad we got you started on a new show, and I hope you're enjoying The Witcher.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah. It's one thing to be recommended a show and be like, oh, we'll check it out. It's another thing to actually, you know, like it or not. We're not really watching anything right now. You're watching things. I'm not watching things.
Yeah.
You're still in your Winona Earp.
Yes.
Kick, right. How much more do you have of that? Are you in the fourth season yet?
I'm in the fourth season. I think there's a total of 5.
I thought there were only 4 either way. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, there were a lot of shirts that we wore back in the day that were not us.
Yeah.
They were from other artists or other sites and stores. And in the videos, or at least the video playback of any live streams where we wore a shirt that was made by somebody else, we always tried to link to it. So if anybody ever comes across one of those, there should be a link there. But we... And not because we're like a 5-year-old who's growing up, but we've grown out of those shirts.
Yeah.
And I would like to shrink back down into those shirts, but I'm just not there right now. So they sit in our closet. We just stare at them sometimes.
Yeah.
Look at all these funny kink shirts we just can't even fucking wear.
And I keep saying, you know, probably wouldn't take much effort if I just really buckled
For
down.
For you, no. No. Belch, fart, and take a shit in about a 30-minute period, you have lost 5 pounds. I can follow a 72-point checklist laid out for me by the premier fitness dietitian weight loss guru of the world, do it for 6 months faithfully, and I will have gained 2 pounds. So I do keep hearing that you have to like deal with stress and get more sleep. So I figure since I can't seem to manage either of those things, what even is the point? So
Teshu, I did hear from Ignixia, probably about a year ago.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I thought it was recent.
No, not recent. It was about a year ago. She has kind of stepped back from the kink life, and my understanding is that her and her partner have a Etsy shop where they're making signs.
Yeah.
And doing quite well with it from my understanding.
Ignixia was very good as a kink educator and an artist.
Yes.
But I think as many of us who are in that field know, it is not easy to make money.
No.
At least a livable wage. It is. Yeah. It's a constant hustle. So if they found something that is more lucrative, I'm definitely happy for them. Yeah. I think it was Silent who mentioned The Witcher going downhill after the first season. If I recall, the second season was, to me, of the 3 seasons, the one I liked the least. I loved season 3. I felt like it had the most action. The most was just happening. I got to see Henry Cavill in ways that just primed my pump. Okay. I mean, so that helps.
Yeah. And see, to me, I wouldn't really say the second season went downhill. For me, what the second season did, because there were in the first season there were so many flashbacks.
Yeah, that was a hard one to get through. Yeah,
and I found that because of the way they did it, for me, I found it confusing.
Mm-hmm.
And when they got to the second season, it kind of tied everything together, and I was like, oh, okay, okay.
If I remember, because silly us, we watch the seasons as they come out, and so there's like 85 years between each season.
Yeah.
If I remember the second season feeling like it just was slower moving, maybe because there weren't any flashbacks and everything was being tied together. But it had I remember it having a lot of moving parts and a lot of different characters and subplots. And I remember going, oh gosh, I can't remember who are. I think they're the bad guys, but I can't remember what we're doing here. Third season I really enjoyed. Third season made me sad because I know Henry Cavill's gone after third season. I'm just not. I mean, if you decide you want us to give the next season of The Witcher a chance, I will give it a chance. But, you know. Thank you, Allie. I've got more that I want to make on stickers. I just haven't yet. So, haven't. Oh, the Wheel of Time. Yes. I'm waiting for season 3 of that too.
They have been doing a decent job with that series.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because every time I watch a movie or a series based on a book or books, if I like the movie or show, I want to read the books because I'm always want to compare. Well, I like this as much, blah, blah, blah. And I've gotten a lot of warnings of, okay, you can go read the Wheel of Time books, but be prepared to give over your life for it.
Yep.
So. Oh, Good Omens. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm waiting for that too.
That has been such a fun show.
And the end of the last season ended and my heart broke. And
right?
I need more.
Yeah. And I think, because they are actually friends in life.
Oh, I love watching reels of the two of them.
And that carries into the series with their characters,
My headache is not as bad as it was. Does that count?
That's good. That's good.
Whole face feels tight. Just tight.
Love Not Hate. We had been watching Young Sheldon,
And then we just sort of stopped.
and it just kind of faded off right now. But we've enjoyed that show. It's been good.
Yeah, I've definitely had like literal laugh out loud moments with that show. And I think a new season has come to Netflix. I know they're also in a new season because the algorithm figured me out, started feeding me some of that. So, but
and Silent, I saw that getting another season of Sandman, and I was happy to see that. I enjoyed that show.
I barely remember it now.
Neil Gaiman's.
Yeah, it's one of those that I will. They either have to have a really good remember what happened from season 1 or whatever situation, or I'm gonna have to rewatch because I'm getting. It's a little bit like reading books. I'm getting flashes of like bits and pieces, but that one I didn't even remember the vibe and I don't mean the vibe of the show, but the vibe that I got from it about how I felt about it. Like, did I like it? Was I like, meh? I don't know. I don't remember. We might have to rewatch.
I Love Not Hate. I think part of it for us right now, we have been so tired in the evening, and we both sit on the sofa with each other and we just kind of drift off into our own
Yeah.
things and don't even turn the TV on.
If I'm not reading, which I'm usually doing, I'm catching up with YouTube videos because I won't have watched all of them because I was reading. If I'm not doing those two things, it's because I can't concentrate on anything. I can't focus. So then I'm in Instagram Reels.
Yeah.
I don't. 2 books in a row that were not bad, but were meh. And now I was like, I could have started a book tonight. I didn't even want to. I was like, I don't want to be underwhelmed again. I just don't, like, they weren't bad books. I think they were both books that was all like the Omegaverse. And please do not ask me to try to describe that to you. Like, I can in a halting, not great way. Just Google, you'll be fine. But I think that is not my genre. However, I think because decent marketing on Instagram sucked me in, I think like I have a few books that are Omegaverse genre, whatever. And I think I'm just now avoiding my list of books in the Kindle app because I'm just like, I don't want to be underwhelmed again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And with Winona Earp, I'm enjoying the show. I'm liking the basic premise of the show, but there's no real substance to it. It's fluff.
Which show? I'm sorry.
Winona Earp.
Yeah, and I think that's a little part of the problem. It was a couple of episodes pulled me in, and I was like, oh, I'll watch this. And then I just wandered off. Thank you, Silent. I was looking at that, but I then forgot to look at that. It is 10 o'clock. So we're still in virtual Munch mode. We're still in Chaos Goblins mode. We'll still talk about the most random fucking shit. But in between that, we will also answer your questions, your kinky questions. It could be an ask us anything, whatever. To ask your question, first of all, please tag us in the question when you're typing it in live chat. If you start typing at and then loving BDSM, we will pop right up. It lights up for us, okay? The other thing is if your question requires more than a couple of sentences to ask it, like more than one text field in live chat, it's probably too complicated for here. You can use our contact page on our website, lovingbdsm.net. Send it to us that way. I will do my best to get back to you sooner rather than later. If you spam the chat because you think we have not seen your question and we're not answering it fast enough, you will be put in a timeout. All of our moderators are here tonight and they have our blessing.
They're going to get you.
To do what they need to do.
Get you.
Anything that smacks of spam. So, with all that being said, one last reminder, please tag us when you ask a question. And I see that Mr. Fisher has asked, any experience with coconut rope?
No.
I've never even heard of coconut rope.
Yeah, I have heard of it. My understanding of coconut rope is that it somebody in the chat said it best, it's evil.
Oh god, okay.
It's apparently it's very coarse and scratchy. It has it's the texture of it. But no, I have not used it myself or had first-hand experience with it.
Gotcha. Love Not Hate asks, can you talk about how the two of you worked through long distance? I'm considering a long distance with a visit once or twice a year. So that you know, just so you can get a much more in-depth answer, we have talked about our long distance adventures a lot on our podcast. So most of which should be here on the channel as well. I think if you just type in long distance and our channel name, whatever we've got should come up. We also have a workbook on our Etsy shop. I'm just saying, for long distance relationships. The Cliff's Notes version.
Yeah.
We established a routine that we could mostly commit to most of the time based around our work schedules and our personal life schedules. So we had most days of the week, we knew when we were going to talk. We knew what method we were going to speak to one another. We knew how much contact we could have in between those conversations. So we would know we could text throughout the day, and be pretty sure of when we should get a response by. The other thing we did was we planned our visits. After the first visit where we went, oh yeah, this is real, let's keep doing this, we got into a habit of, before that visit ends, we're planning when we think the next visit will occur, so we have something to look forward to.
We were kind of on like every 3 month schedule?
2 to 3 months, yeah. The only time we did not was right at the end, right before we moved in together.
Right.
And we stopped visits because we needed to save money, organize for the
and
move.
get things ready for the move.
That was tough. By the time I saw you again, I was like, oh my God, it had only been like 4 or 5 months, but it felt like it had been for fucking ever.
And when I came up to see you that time, that was to pack up. And get you moved.
And you know that move out of that townhome that I had, packing up the U-Haul to go 400 miles south with you, was the first move I'd ever had where I had a responsible crew of adults helping me, and it was not only the fastest pack up of a U-Haul I've ever experienced that I didn't pay for, but I had 4 other women with me who were all moms, who were all type A, who were all very responsible people. That townhome was fucking cleaner than it had been when I moved in, and 2, at any other point that I lived there.
and that truck was loaded fast.
It was like, everybody was like, we're going to miss you, but also, we are goal-oriented bitches. Let's get this done. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But, so we did not, and I know there are some people who try to do this. I'm not convinced it's feasible, but we did not try to do 24/7 while we were long distance.
No.
We understood that we each had responsibilities and lives that just couldn't be governed by our power exchange. So we got real clear about what could be governed by our power exchange. Sexually, he had a lot of control. I did not touch myself or orgasm without permission. There was lots of phone sex, so much phone sex. We established things I could ask permission for, like special treats or like things that were not necessities in life, so that if he didn't see my request in time, it wasn't like I had gone without lunch or something, you know. And we tried to keep that very realistic for the distance, so we could have the power exchange feel, we could get into the mindset, but we weren't disappointed because it was, quote, never working out, because it just wasn't realistic. We tried to stay very realistic. Our power exchange is sexual as well as not. I mean, there's layers to it. But we focused more on the sexual while we were apart, with some non-sexual stuff working on. Like, you'd have me research something, or I'd offer to make an appointment for you, or, you know, things like that. So, and then another plug for our workbook on Etsy. That helps. That the workbook is designed to help you think through the logistics of how you'll communicate and how you'll visit and all of those things, so that you can kind of like outline it for yourself. But that's how we did it, I think. Anything you'd add?
I think you covered it all.
Okay.
You did good. All right. I think the next question is from Raven 4708.
Yes, I had to scroll back.
Yep. Are real life munches similar to this one?
It depends.
Yeah.
I've been to munches where there's everybody's just talking, and like it's at a restaurant and everybody's eating, and nobody stands up at the front and says, hey, this is what we're talking about. I've been to munches where it's like we eat for a little while, and then there's a roundtable discussion, or I've never been to one where there's a Q&A. That doesn't mean that there's not. Yeah,
there are some what they call learning munches, where they have topics that they talk about, or you can ask questions and stuff. But for the most part, munches are basically not kink oriented. It's just people getting together in a vanilla setting,
right?
Usually at a restaurant, having something to eat.
Some public place if it's not a restaurant. The conversations might eventually get around to kink, but people try to be aware of their surroundings. If you've got servers who you have no idea if they're kinky or not coming in and out, then you're going to speak quieter. If you're in a private room, you have more freedom when the server's not around to talk about things. But if you're out in like the main floor of whatever establishment, then people either don't talk about it at all, or they keep their voice down, or they talk in code, just so nobody's drawing unwanted attention to
Right.
themselves or freaking out the
Or-
non-kinksters.
or freaking out other
pissing off
patrons in the
the
restaurant.
establishment.
Yeah. You know, one Munch I attended, all the tables were basically right in the center of the restaurant. Mm-hmm. You know, so there were a lot of other people around, and you know, the kink topics were none at that point. You know, but a lot of other conversation and
Right.
stuff going on.
The main purpose of a munch is just to meet other people that you know are kinky, so that you can kind of start establishing those connections. How free you get to be with the kink side of the conversation just depends on the exact venue that you're at and the environment. But the point is really just to get to know other kinksters that you know are
Right.
kinksters. So if you say something that's, you know, part of power exchange or part of kink, you don't get weird looks, or, you know, the only explanation might be, oh, I've never heard of that kink. Can you tell me what that's about? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just a way for people to mix and mingle outside of sort of the air quote pressure, because some people feel pressure and some people don't. Outside of the pressure of play or a dungeon or a party or
Excuse me.
places where people have tits out, you know, like for some people they thrive in that. They're like, I can make friends here all night, and other people are like, I don't know where to look or where to put my eyeballs, so I can't have a conversation. So yeah, it took me a while to call this a virtual munch, because I was like, oh, well, we don't really focus on a topic. That's what our Wednesday live streams are for, you know, especially before we added the Q&A element. Then I realized that to me it is like the munches I used to go to, where we were just people who sat around and we would talk about the most fucking random shit, usually while eating French fries. It's the only element we have not added to this. And I was like, yeah, this counts. Where everybody here is either kinky or kink aware, kink adjacent. Right. Nobody has to hide that part of who they are. So it's like a munch. Rebecca asks,
Yep.
have you got any advice? I'm 34 and new in BDSM. Is that poly relationship or play relationship? I'm not sure. How did you tell family and friends? I did not. We eventually we eventually kind of told them, but we did not tell family and friends like, hey, we're in this power exchange relationship, we're so happy, we want you to know we're in a power exchange. We told people either, one, after JB got outed by former family and treated like shit because of it, and then one of my air quote family members went snooping and learned shit he didn't really want to know, had an existential crisis that he made everybody else's problem, and then more information was out there. But for the question that, you know, invariably comes up for people of, should I tell my friends and family I'm into this? How do I tell them? Some people are very open with their friends and family, and they just go, look, I'm kinky, I'm in this kind of relationship, this is what that means to me, you know, I hope you can respect it. And others of us tend to be very private. In regards to the kink aspect and power exchange for us, when we are in front of non-kink people, our power exchange does not look like power exchange. It is meaningful to us, but we do things that no outsider is going to clock and go, oh, that's clearly kinky. That's just because we don't really want to have those conversations with our non-kinky family and friends.
You know, one of the things, if this helps, Rebecca, I know, you know, rather than give them like in-depth details, you know, just kind of tell them that maybe you live an alternative lifestyle. Yeah,
that was the first one I used with my mom when I didn't feel... We have an episode. I don't think it's here on YouTube. I think it's just on our website, lovingbdsm.net, from 2016, I think. You got outed, treated like absolute shit. That was when JB decided to semi-retire from his career, because had his job found out, he would have lost his pension. So we were like...
And a lot more than that, it would have become a media circus.
Yes,
because
but
of the
I cared more about the pension, quite frankly. So he left that job before it could get out in a way that we could not control. Right. And I was like, this isn't fair for my family to stay in ignorance and your family to, like, know things that aren't even true because, some people are toxic. So what I said to my mom was, we are in an alternative lifestyle relationship. And my mom's innocent. She had no clue what the fuck that meant. She just went, are you happy? Are my grandchildren safe? I'm like, sure. She went, okay. I did mention that, I do things with sex and that's how I make my money. She was like, are you healthy and safe? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
But then in 2019, it all came out because somebody got nosy. And my mom went, I don't give a fuck. I wish I didn't know, but I don't care. But I would have gone my whole life and not given her those details because she doesn't want them. So when a lot of people ask me, and this is not true for everybody, but when anybody asks me, how should I tell my whoever that I'm in this kink relationship? My question back to you is, why do you have to tell them? Some people feel very strongly about that. They want their people in their life to know. I'm more of a, if I don't know how they're going to react, I'm not saying shit,
Yeah.
Because I don't know how they're going to react.
Yeah. That's what makes it to a very personal thing, or whether you, do tell family and friends. Because you don't know how they're going to react to something like this.
I literally have not been to my own mother's home since 2019 because somebody had a temper tantrum and couldn't handle the knowledge. So I understand why people want to tell. One, because there are elements of their relationship that they don't want to have to hide around people and they want to just be able to be themselves. Also, there's that element of, this is who I am. This is about something, that's important to me and part of just the life I'm living, and I don't want to feel like I'm hiding it. And I respect that. Yeah. But I'm always gonna throw out but why do you have to tell anybody? Blame my anxiety? I don't know.
I think the next one is Tammy.
I'm scrolling, it jumped, and now I'm like trying to go back. Oh, yes, I think you're right. Tammy is the next one. Coming to you, Tammy. Okay. Tammy says, my Dom lost his dad, and he's taking it very hard. He cut off contact with me. How long do I give him to heal before I give up? I'm so sorry for the loss of your Dom's parent. That's awful. I have kind of personal experience with something like this, and so that is what colors my answer. So just know this: my first power exchange relationship ended when my Dom found out his father was terminally ill with cancer, and he said, I can't do this with you. This over here is too much. He at least told me that. He kind of made it seem like he would try, and I kept going, look, I'll give you your space, whatever. Yeah. And he sort of, for a few weeks, kind of led me along and then just sort of went away. So I am jaded and would tell you I wouldn't be waiting around because so I respect the fact that when big bad things happen to people, we all cope differently.
True.
And for some people, that is to withdraw completely, to turn inwards, to whatever. And I do respect that. We all are going to cope in our own way.
Yeah.
Difference for me, personally, is especially in power exchange, if your Dom was going to turn inward and go, I have to focus on this, there should be conversation about that. There should be a plan in place. You should not just, there should be not just cutting off contact and you waiting for him to heal. There should be there's not much you can do for me right now, but, I'm still here. It could be, depending on the length of the relationship and the depth of it, you can help me. If there's none of that, I would not wait around. Yeah,
I mean, cutting off contact, you would think he would reach out, just
minimally,
and, and I know Kayla says everybody is different. For me, when I lost my sister, my mom, I leaned on her. I needed her support.
Right. And when you did try to withdraw, I would be respectful of the fact that you were grieving, but I could get through to you.
Yeah.
You would withdraw, but I could approach you. Now, granted, it's a different situation. We're living together and we're married, right? but you would not stay withdrawn from me, you know? And that's the thing that, you know, when somebody withdraws from you and cuts off contact and is just not speaking to you, regardless of what they come back and tell you later, if they come back and tell you anything, that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
I mean, at minimum, the basic courtesy of, here's where I'm at, here's why I can't do what we've been doing,
Right.
here's where I'd like to be, can you give me some time, can we establish I'll, you know, check in with me once a week, once a month, like that. I still personally wouldn't like it, that wouldn't work for me as a relationship, but I can respect that and have a little bit of confidence in that versus a bad thing happened to me and now I'm just leaving you high and dry.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, with my sister, because of the things going on within the family, that was happening with her illness, I did tell Kayla, I need to step back from RDS right now. I cannot deal with all this, and
but you
know,
didn't step back from the relationship. You
No.
didn't act like I didn't exist.
No.
That's the difference. I think
Yeah.
it is perfectly acceptable for a dom to go, whoa, I can't do power exchange right now. That's a lot, but I still exist, and maybe, you know, give me a week, we can talk, you know, text me, and we'll, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
The willingness to maintain contact through a hard thing is what matters. How that happens and whether the power exchange is there is irrelevant. The just being poof gone. And I'll tell you, because I'm an optimist, but then I'm also a cynical bitch. My brain is immediately going to, did it really happen? And that is not fair to a person I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of shit
Yeah.
in my adult life on the
Yeah.
internet. And so
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Sad but true.
I don't.
Yeah.
I hope that's not
what it
the
is.
case.
Yeah.
But I also am not impressed with somebody who's like, I'm just outie, and then you're waiting around. That's not fair to you.
Right.
That would, in no world would that be fair
Right.
to you. And a responsible dominant is going to go, this is not fair to you.
Yeah.
What do we do? Do we break up?
I mean,
do we, you know, put it on
yeah.
hold? Whatever. And if that's not happening, I wouldn't wait. I would not wait.
No.
Okay.
I think Jess is the next question.
Yes. I have a question to ask for my dom who's working. How do you punish a masochist? We'll let the sadist answer this.
Two things come to my mind immediately. I know with Kayla, who is a masochist, I will use an implement that she does not like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or give me a sensation I don't like.
Right.
Because just because you're a masochist, it doesn't mean you like every single sensation out there.
Now, another thing I have done is totally denying her pain.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Lay the toys out on the bed in full sight. And, nope, they're not being used.
The other thing is, you want to get around the idea of all punishment is painful or all
Right.
punishment is corporal. Punishment can mean so many things.
Right.
It depends on your power exchange and the nature of your relationship. So if your partner controls some aspect of your day-to-day life, right? They get to give you permission for something, or they encourage certain things, or they're like, oh, here's a treat here. Like those parts, that's where the punishment comes in. Quite frankly, the worst punishments for me have nothing to do with pain or sensation at all.
Writing lines.
Put me in a corner.
Put you in a corner.
Those two things are most often associated with caregiver little, for good reason. Those tend to be punishments we associate with, you know, non-adults. Like, I get that. But if it pisses you off and makes you miserable, it don't matter
Right.
what your dynamic is. That's a good punishment. Okay. So that would be the thing I would get away from, is thinking about punishment in terms of corporal and painful, physically painful, and what, without causing actual damage to you, what's going to like upset you to have to go through. Like, does your dom have the ability to tell you you're not allowed to have dessert tonight, or that you have to go to bed earlier? again, I know I'm pulling from caregiver little stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
there can be crossover depending on the dynamic. So what do they have control over in your life that has not, if anything, that has nothing to do with the sensation?
Yeah.
That's where a punishment can come from.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't have to worry about whether it's painful or not.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay. Okay. Slade Strife asked, I'm a male little and find it difficult to find resources as I can only find stuff for female littles. Do you have any recommendations?
Yeah.
You know, and I can't even deny that. I know most of the information is for female littles.
Yeah.
I know I've come across male littles online, like I've interacted, but I don't think they were educators who were sharing resources.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the most obvious answer, and you've probably already done it. I mean, I would be checking FetLife just because there's such a cross-section of humanity. I wish Ra was here, but she's off, having her best kinky life tonight.
Right.
Because I feel like for sure she would probably have some resources.
She probably know, yeah.
If anybody in live chat or who is lurking and maybe you need an excuse to be in live chat has any suggestions, please drop them in the live chat, because I honestly don't know. I have no doubt that they're out there, but yeah, most of the information is definitely geared towards female littles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
The only thing that's coming to mind, and it's not a resource, it's an actual event, and I don't know if they have any resources around it. The Woodshed in Orlando, which you can find on FetLife, they every so often will do like a littles party or a littles night or a littles corner or whatever, and it's usually an event for people to meet in person.
Right.
But I do not know if in doing that they also have resources that get shared.
Yeah.
I do not know.
Phoenix used to do that too. I don't know if they still do, but I know they used to.
So yeah, we're hoping live chat can help us out with this one, because I can't think of anything. Cannot think of anything at all. I'm sorry.
I saw something in chat, and it kind of piqued a bit of interest. What would you think of being denied Diet Cokes for a punishment?
If you could live with me, here's the thing, and the thing that we did that relates to this, I feel like I'm realizing things that could have been said, and it's pissing me off. A punishment should only punish the person involved. If you're punishing yourself, I think it's a shitty punishment. You want to know what our philosophy is that a good punishment is a deterrent. It is something that a submissive is desperate to avoid. They will consent to do it because they agreed to it as a punishment, but they will be on their best behavior to avoid it. Would it be a good punishment? Technically, yes, because I'm having a literal visceral reaction to it. My blood pressure is up and I'm pissy just thinking about it. But also, I know how to have plenty of attitude and still keep a respectful tone in my voice, so you would have to live with the person who is not getting the Diet Coke.
So what if I denied you a Diet Coke, took away your Diet Cokes, and while that was going on, made you sit in right lines so you wouldn't be able to...
That's a dual punishment. I better have done two things wrong to earn two punishments. We're not stacking punishments for one wrongdoing. No. You stack punishments when there's multiple wrongdoings. This is why 30 minutes was not enough, by the way. None of that might make sense for 10 days, but...
Right. No, and I agreed wholeheartedly, time-wise, yes.
Anyway. Okay. Oh, Kim, you know what? I think one time my parents, when I was a kid, wouldn't let me read as part of my punishment. It was like, go to your room. Okay,
yeah.
Don't hurt my feelings.
Right.
But then they were like, but you can't read. I believe I cried for 2 hours. So if he took my books away, I would be unbearable. I would have all of the big feelings.
Yeah.
And none of them would be regulated.
Right.
Okay, let's see. Tayshu asked, what about Vegucated for the littles question? They do not have enough of a kink repository. Kink Academy?
Maybe.
Might. A lot of Kink Academy is behind a paywall, but they have a good bit that's not, that you can access for free. Kink Academy. I think it's all one word, kinkacademy.com, maybe?
Yeah.
I think they might be in our link tree too. Yeah. Anyway, maybe them, but no, Vegucated doesn't have enough kink stuff.
Vegucated is good. They have a lot of good stuff. They are mainly seem to be sexually
the
oriented.
Vast majority of it is sexual or just relationship oriented.
Yeah.
I'm as much as I like them, I would give anything for their kink section to be bigger.
Yeah, they do have some good kink stuff, but they not a whole lot.
Yep. I will say, Sin says, do not F with my Coke Zero. I'll tell you, if the Diet Coke thing came up, that might be a time I safe worded, and I don't. I'll take my punishment. I'll be pissy. My feelings will be hurt. I take my punishment. But see, that goes back to the thing we say all the time too. All punishments have to be negotiated and consented to. Guess who's not consenting to losing the Diet Coke? Like, it's not happening. It's not happening. I don't consent to that. But yeah.
Tayshu, that's a true sadist right there.
Yeah, denying dessert
and eating in front of him. Yeah.
I don't know. I have such weird issues with food where it's like been detrimental to my own mental health. I don't know. I'd probably have to go through it one time to learn if I could handle it or not. But I don't know. I don't know if I could handle it. That would be one of those where I would consent to it, like with a stipulation of, we'll do it once, but if I can't handle it, we can't do that again. Hey, Andre.
Hey, Andre. Welcome.
Raven asked, is it typical to have punishments for DS relationships? My daddy and I haven't discussed any, but it's a new relationship. It is stereotypical.
Yeah.
It's a common enough thing that most people kind of go, oh, well, I guess we have to do this. So I'm not going to say it's not uncommon.
Right.
It is not required.
But
it
it's
doesn't
not
work
required,
for everybody.
No.
Also, stay tuned. We will have a thing where we can talk more about it publicly starting March 25th. That might be able to help you get answers to that. I'm not allowed to say more. It's killing me. But no, if it doesn't appeal, if it hasn't come up, then it's not needed.
Right.
For some people, punishment's the worst thing they can do anyway, so they go with positive reinforcement instead.
I very seldom have to punish her. But give her, oh Jesus, now my mind just went blank.
Sorry.
Oh, God. Positive reinforcement.
Right, that's what I said a couple
Okay,
minutes
yeah.
ago. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
rewards.
Yeah, rewards.
I can't say it, but you know what I'm thinking,
I know,
right?
I know exactly what you're
Kills
thinking.
me.
I know.
This is so
I know.
on point.
I know.
For anybody who's like, ooh, you are teasing me and I would like to know what you're talking about, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you will find out on March 25th.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to do that, just wait for the Wednesday after March 25th. We will talk about it. Mr. Fisher asks, what's everyone's favorite dessert? Don't make me choose.
Yeah.
It's whatever kind of sounds good to me in the moment. It used to be anything chocolate. I'm becoming that old person who's like, oh, this is a little too sweet. So I don't eat chocolate as much as I used to. And I'm a dark chocolate girly.
Yeah. Now, I have two go-tos.
Okay.
Mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Mint chocolate chip anything, y'all.
And apple pie.
Oh, yeah. I will almost always be in favor of a cheesecake. Weirdly, I don't like my cheesecake to have strawberries or fruit on it, but give me a caramel, a dulce de leche, a blah, 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 blah. I'm there for it. But yeah, carrot cake I really enjoy. Do I enjoy the cake or is it the cream cheese icing? It's mostly the cream cheese icing. I love cake more than pie or cookies or anything like that. Aldi was running us like a little special on name brand. I can't remember who makes it, but funfetti icing and a cake mix last week, and I bought that and I made that this week. It's not gourmet, but it was pretty good. So yeah, I'm probably going to default to like cake. Ideally, multiple layers of cake so that I get lots of frosting, or cupcakes with like the piped big thick frosting. I want frosting. If there has to be a cakey vehicle for it, fine.
Yep.
I want frosting.
And indeed, Silent Wing, and it was greatly appreciated, and every bit of it was enjoyed.
Oh my gosh. You know, X, I used to think that there was no such thing as too sweet. And then something happened, and every once in a while I'm like, that's too much. I can only have a little bite, and I'm sad when that happens, but...
Then I saw somebody mention in the chat soft chocolate chip cookies.
I like chocolate chip cookies. I do.
Yeah.
I do like them, but
I love them when they're chewy. They gotta be chewy.
I
gotta
know,
be
you don't
chewy.
do a crispy, crunchy cookie.
Nope.
I'm not a fan of crunchy cookies either. I'll eat cookies. I make cookies more than I make anything else. And then I mindlessly eat them and then go, how many fucking cookies have I even eaten? And why am I standing here in the kitchen eating a cookie again? But if we're going to talk about like what I'm drawn to and I'm excited about.
Yeah.
It's probably a cake because of the frosting.
Kim, that sounds good. Even in theory.
Guinness chocolate cake with Irish cream cheese frosting. Holy shit, my mouth just watered.
Right, see?
Damn. Damn. We have a relatively new cupcake place here in town that Instagram algorithm gifted me with right before Valentine's Day. They were doing like a grand opening, and I don't. Their prices are not the worst I've seen for like a cupcake shop.
Yeah.
And their flavors were making my mouth water.
Oh my gosh, you were showing me some of them. I was just like,
have we had
No.
a cupcake? No.
no.
Now everybody's talking about desserts.
Yeah.
And my mouth is watering. And we don't have any like dessert-like food right now. I'm hoping that Aldi has something on special when we go back
Right.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hey, Onyx. Nope. She would like to clean her toes more than...
Yeah.
DS Bunny asks, the arbitrary 10K subscribers goal, how do we get there? Is it more subscribers? Yes, it is. It is more subscribers.
Yeah, I don't know how. I haven't looked how many.
9,600 and some change.
Okay.
Yeah, share a YouTube video of us that you like with your kink community and be like, you should subscribe to them.
Yeah.
That'll work. Also check your own YouTube subscriptions. We have absolutely, I've had this happen. I know a lot of other people have had this happen when they're like, I'm subscribed to that channel, and then no, they're not, because YouTube sometimes, sucks.
There are 9.66K subscribers.
Right, because you're not in the place where you could see the exact number.
True.
You should have access, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I do, and I've been back there before, but I don't.
Oh, you have, have you? I like it when you're back there, but that's a whole other thing. Rebecca asks, do you have any games that you play in the bedroom that explores both submissive and dom roles? No. We are very firmly in our roles between the two. I frequently talk about how I can initiate kink, sex, whatever, for maybe max 30 seconds. I'm going to kiss you. I'm going to be a little sassy so your sadist will, cackle. I'm going to do something to indicate interest, and then my mind goes blank, and I got nothing. So if he doesn't take over and be his dom self, ain't nothing happening. So, no, we're very firmly in our roles there. I feel like I keep asking you this, but I can't seem to hold the information in my head.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
With other partners, would you be bottom and or submissive? Can you imagine it?
Um,
And then what kind of partner would that have to be? Because we're going to find them, whoever they are.
Definitely not submissive.
Okay. Definitely
Okay.
bottom. I could see you bottoming.
And bottom, yeah, I think I could with the right person.
And on the right play, because
Yeah.
you are such a pain wimp. You could
I
never
am.
do pain play.
No.
You could never do pain play. Y'all, he can't handle, like, the smallest amount. The only time he's down for pain is when we get kind of primal with one another, and then I can scratch and bite and whatever I need to do. But outside of that, whatever the opposite of a pain slut is, that's him.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up with the chat. And the conversations have gone in like 80 different directions, and I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm looking
Yeah.
at anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm out of water already.
So, and someone asked just in general about favorite movies and TV show. For me, I would have to say favorite movie, Lord of the Rings.
That's a question I cannot answer. Partly because I don't hold content in my head for more than 30 seconds. Partly because it's like my favorite movie of all time. I don't have one. My favorite movie of this genre, of this part of my life, of this time of yeah, I loved Lord of the Rings. I liked The Hobbit. They did not need to stretch that out for as much as they did. They technically didn't need to do it with Lord of the Rings, but I enjoyed it, so it was fine.
Right.
I like Marvel movies, MCU. Not a huge fan of DC movies.
Yeah.
DC does TV better than they do movies.
True.
And they don't always do TV great, but it is better than the movies. Yeah, like, I don't remember. I feel like I don't remember a single movie I watched before the age of 25, so I can't help you there. Yeah, I got.
And
I'm sure I do. If somebody says the name of a movie, like, and I go, "Oh my god, yes!" Like, but
and TV shows, I would have to say, most of the Star Trek TV shows.
I mean, I guess Doctor Who, because I'm now on our third rewatch of it. Which is so ironic because I remember my dad watching the original classic Doctor Who and being like, "What the fuck is this?" Not in those words. I was young, but like that was the dude. And then you got me into the reboot, and I'm here for it. So I guess probably that. I tend to like if when I go, "Oh, what's my favorite?" It ends up being, other than Doctor Who, whatever we're currently watching that I like. Like, yes, I like Witcher, but it's not The Witcher. It's fucking Henry Cavill covered in dirt with a wig on.
let me throw one out at you.
Help me.
Schitt's Creek.
I love that show. I do love that show.
Yeah.
See, that's my brain, though. My brain does not hold on to, like, anything like that. It just does not file that information.
One more.
Yes, Schitt's Creek is definitely
The Good Place.
If I had not watched Schitt's Creek after The Good Place, it would be a favorite. It's fine. It's one that I enjoyed, but I would not rewatch. Schitt's Creek, if I was the type of person to rewatch shit,
That's one would rewatch in a heartbeat. Yes.
yes, there have been many a time I'm like, I'm very stressed out. Maybe I can be one of those people who just puts on like a comfort show and zones out. Except then I forget that how the TV even works, and I get distracted. But that would be my show. I used to think it would be Gilmore Girls because when I watched Gilmore Girls, it was my favorite. But there are bits of it that haven't aged well, and so then I get a mild discomfort while I'm watching it. I'm like, well, this is not a comfort show.
Yeah.
This is me wondering why I laughed at that however long ago.
Yeah. You know, Scuba, I have heard that about him many times through the years. He was excellent in his role as Kirk. Could not really, I mean, yeah, Chris Pine did a good job, but the reboot and all. But yeah, I've heard he's not really a nice person in person.
I don't think so, Silent. When House comes on, either if we're watching actual network TV and like a rerun comes on in syndication, or a short or a reel pop up in my algorithm, I am hooked into House again, and I know I have not watched a single episode I don't know, well before it got to like the last one of the last seasons where he's like not being the House that he started out being in the earlier seasons. Like, yeah. I never watched Gossip Girls. I never did. I think that was like I was aging out of certain things as certain shows are coming in. So like I've heard of certain shows. I haven't. But I also never got to watch 90210 because my parents refused to let me. They thought it was too adult for me at that age. I was, I believe, a teenager. I can't remember when 90210 came on. I was desperate to watch it. All of my friends were watching it. I didn't get to watch it. And then by the time I did get to watch it, I was like, why the fuck did I care? Oh my God, what was the show from the 90s? It literally only got one season and had Claire Danes in it. Oh my God, I can see it, and my brain is like poofed the name. That fucking show I loved. Oh my God, I can't remember the name of the show. Oh, it was such a good show though. One season, Claire Danes, Jared Leto. Somebody knows the name of that show, and I can't think of it right now. Oh God, I saw something in Instagram Reels, and I was like, "Oh, is this what nostalgia feels like?" It was amazing. Yeah. Daria, back in the day, loved that shit.
I vaguely remember that.
Never
I never
did Beavis
watched
and
it, but
Butthead.
I
Had
remember,
no
yeah.
fucking interest in that, but yeah, I was here for Daria. My So-Called Life. Thank you, thank you. Fucking love that show.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, I was also not allowed to watch Dirty Dancing, but also I think it came out when I was like actually very young. My parents, I didn't get to watch it till I was like 16 or 17.
Rebecca, I watched The Help when that came out. That was a good movie. That was a very good movie.
I never watched Freaks and Geeks, but I knew about it.
I never heard of it.
Yeah. At a certain, there was a point, obviously, in childhood when I had access to television, which I got good access to by the time I was like 12 or 13. Through high school, there were all kinds of shows I watched. I was, Real World and all that good stuff on MTV. And then I hit like college. That's when I started watching South Park actually in college, and The Daily Show. That's where I got my news from. From 1998 to 2001, 2002. Sorry, that's where I got my news from. But then I hit my 20s and got married and was working. I mean, I didn't really watch TV again until I had kids, and then it was Thomas the Tank Engine and SpongeBob and the last Avatar, the last Airbender Avatar.
What was the other one? Perry the Platypus.
Oh yeah. Phineas and Ferb. Loved fucking Phineas and Ferb. We'll still watch that now.
Yeah.
But for like so many years, I barely ever watched actual TV, and now I have multiple streaming channels at my fingertips, and I'm like, oh, that's right, TV exists. I don't know. Never did watch Grace and Frankie. Heard about it. Heard it was good. From what I saw, I was like, oh, that would be up my alley. Never watched it. When I was a kid, man, I watched the shit out of some Golden Girls and Designing Women. That would be another comfort watch. Both of those, I would watch those again.
I remember Designing Women, yeah.
Oh, God. Love when Julia Sugarbaker decided to rant. Y'all, I know some of y'all really like when I rant. No. Julia Sugarbaker was the goddess of rants, and I will never get to that level. She was fucking amazing.
Phineas and Ferb is back. They're making new episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have children who watch it, so I won't ever think about it again. I would watch it.
I'll remember.
Okay. If like, here's the thing with me and watching TV. I almost never seek anything out. If you don't just turn it on for me, I'll forget I ever said I liked Phineas and Ferb until the next time somebody mentions Phineas and Ferb, and I'll go, oh yeah, I liked that.
You know what other show was really good? Will and Grace.
I never watched a lot of that. The little bit I watched, I liked, but I never watched a lot of that. Oh, it's Squirrels in My Pants for me. The Aglet song? Sure. I'm glad I know what an aglet is now. But it's the Squirrels in My Pants song. That's the one that sticks in my head. It just lives rent-free, so I just start humming that one. So I think I had heard about that storyline and just never investigated further. Hello, Onyx. Are you going to show your butthole to everybody? I would prefer that you not. You don't really have to. Wah! When I was a kid, I saw a little bit of Red Green, which got mentioned in the live chat.
Yep.
Are You Being Served? Faulty Towers.
Yeah, Faulty Towers. Red Dwarf.
Yeah, I never really watched a lot of that. There was a couple others that I watched, and I can't think of the names of them now. But if it was a British comedy on PBS, I was fucking watching it. I didn't understand the jokes that I was laughing at, but I was watching it. Ma'am, do you know? Hi, ma'am. The humans in your life are here to serve you and all of your petting needs. Why are you using the stand with the monitor, and why did you just splash drool on the screen?
And now she's just staring at the monitor
because it's moving.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's on a touch screen. I will not. She sees herself,
right?
She's gone to the screen and she's sniffing at herself. Oh my god! And moving the mouse. I'll get the mouse out of the way. Yep, she sees things lighting up, and so she has to investigate. Oh my gosh. Wishbone sounds familiar, Jess, but I do not know why. I don't know why it sounds familiar. I just know it does. Well, I'm glad you're happy to be here with us, Onyx.
Right.
Taking center stage as you deserve to do. I'm just glad you're not eating fucking plastic right now, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Keeping up appearances. Yes, that was a good one. And I've scared her.
You scared her.
Oh, well. So, yeah. Oh, just a reminder for anybody who has just joined us recently. We are in the middle of a Q&A. You can Q and we will A. Just please tag us at Loving BDSM so it lights up. Speaking of shows, I barely ever watched Friends. I actually did not start even watching any of the episodes until I got to college, and that was because one of my roommates had the current seasons at the time on DVD. And that's how I watched it.
I wasn't a big. I watched it when I watched it.
Yeah.
Same with Seinfeld.
Yeah, I almost never watched Seinfeld. The little bit that I have seen of Seinfeld is because it was on in syndication, and I just happened to be going through, it was probably TBS, and I just happened to be flipping through, and ta-da. Oh, speaking back to favorite movies, and I can't ever remember any content I've ever ingested ever, Fifth Element, there was a time I would absolutely have counted that as one of my favorite movies. It's a simple, ridiculous little movie, but I fucking love it. Yeah. Multi-pass. I don't know why Mila Jovanovic needed to just wear, white bands across all her bits and pieces, but I was enthralled. So, it's funny, we got through nearly every season of The Big Bang Theory. I think we got to season 9 or 10. And just never fucking finished it.
Never finished it, yeah.
I know how it ends. Thank you, short form video content.
Yeah.
But I didn't know.
Yeah.
Love Not Hate. Our workbook is only currently available through Etsy.
Yeah.
We don't have any other place where we sell that. No, I just... I mean, I remember being a kid, and what was on syndication then was I Love Lucy and the Dick Van Dyke Show and
Mary Tyler Moore.
And I didn't really watch Mary Tyler Moore. That, like, I saw an episode here and there. But the other one I was thinking
The
of...
Monsters.
No, I never really watched that one. The one I'm thinking of is Andy Griffith's Show.
Ah, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
And that was
oh, gosh.
kind of part of the Saturday morning cartoons. Like, the cartoons would be on, and then there'd come a point where the cartoons stopped, and then it was like 2 hours of black and white TV. My parents would let me watch it, and so I did. Yeah. I definitely watched Alf.
Oh, yeah.
Punky Brewster, which I barely remember, but I did watch. Mr. Belvedere, Webster. I know I watched Charles in Charge, but it is not stuck in my memory banks at all. I think part of it was I don't think I ever watched the reruns. I think maybe I watched an episode here and there if my parents are watching. All like the 90s stuff, the Full House and the Cosby Show, which started in the 80s, but went into the, and like all of that. Friday night, ABC, Friday night TV. Whoo, yes, Family Matters. Perfect Strangers. Oh my God, I loved Perfect Strangers. Did it age well? I'm afraid to find out. Right? Yeah. I'm afraid to find out.
Yeah.
But yeah. Love Not Hate. The good thing about Etsy is if you buy a digital download and I can see that it's purchased and you're not able to access it, once it's purchased, then if I need to send it to you separately, I can. I just have to see that it's been purchased. So if you ever do purchase anything from us through Etsy and it's digital and there's a problem with it, just reach out, message through Etsy, and then, yeah, we can handle it. I had a Rainbow Bright, but I don't think, and I remember Strawberry Shortcake, am I getting that right? I dressed up for a Strawberry Shortcake when I was like 4 or 5 for Halloween. But yeah, like, I was a She-Ra stan, watched He-Man, but was really here for She-Ra. The problem is I not only have such a poor memory for a lot of content, like just content in general, like it does not stick in my brain. Now we're talking 35, 40 years ago, and it's like, oh shit. Rebecca asked, what are our favorite quotes or sayings? Nope, my brain is not built like that. I don't know. I don't know. The things that come to me that I'm like, oh, that's a quote or a saying. Oh, because I had a random thought and it was there, but I can't call it back up for you. Onyx, what are you doing? She's been very fascinated by the back door lately.
Yeah, I know.
Raven asks, can you describe paddle pain versus whip pain, or does it differ for everyone? It differs for everyone. Pain, in my experience, when we're talking impact, comes in 2 main flavors. Thud and sting. Paddles, and anything with like a solid flat surface with some heft behind them, that sting is surface level. It usually dissipates fairly quickly unless you're paddling over and over and over again. Whip sting is burn. That's a burn to me. I feel like I have been cut. I feel like I might be bleeding. I'm not. But that is that sensation to me. The way your body and mind process sensation and pain, it is unique to everybody. And like, I hate sting and burn and those kinds of sensations. But for people who love it, even if they might use the same words that I used, they would probably explain it differently because they're processing it differently. But yeah, in general, for the most part, the smaller and lighter weight the thing hitting your body, in general, the stingier and burnier it's gonna feel. The thicker, the heavier, the wider, the denser the thing hitting you, the thuddier it will feel. And then you can also get a cross where sometimes something is thuddy and also stings like a motherfucker or burns and has both sensations.
My gosh, Slade Strife, How about rewatching Columbo? My gosh, I remember that because my grandparents used to watch. I was their staple. It was like Columbo,
Perry Mason,
Macmillan and Wife, and McCloud.
What was the one with? Was it Pierce Brosnan back in the day? There was some show where he was like debonair. What was that show?
No, I was going to say Blue Moon, but that was the one with Bruce Willis.
No, and that was not Blue. That was Moonlight, wasn't it?
Moonlighting, Blue Moon Detective Agency.
Yeah. But that was Moonlighting. I remember that too. But what was the one?
But yeah, he was in a TV series early on in his career, and cannot remember it anymore either. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Thundercats, they mentioned that. Remington Steele.
Thank you,
Kim.
Yes, thank you, Remington Steele.
Thundercats, I remember that. I watched that cartoon. And the other one that really caught my attention and I was hooked on for a long time was Digimon.
No, never.
Never?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Oh, Matlock was another one. And in the...
That was Andy Griffith, yeah.
What was the name of that show? It was Southern Town, white cop. Was he a black detective or a black cop? In the... Something of the night. In the
Heat of the Night.
In the Heat of the Night.
Carol O'Connor.
Yeah. I watched that one too.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Only because the adults were watching and I was trapped.
I vaguely remember Voltron. I did watch it, but I don't remember much about it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, maybe not obviously, did the Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Oh, I know a little bit of Reading Rainbow, not a lot. But there's a lot of stuff that came out around that time that I just never saw, never was on my radar. So. Yeah, my grandmother loved her a detective courtroom.
Oh yeah,
whodunit kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Oh my fucking god! So if I was over at her house for any amount of time, it was almost on a loop, 24/7. That TV was going, and it felt like it looped around.
Yeah. And then there was another cartoon that I briefly got into, animated show, Reboot.
Don't know that one.
It was, the premise of the show was that there were actual, like, living digital beings inside computers.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Yeah, no.
It didn't last very long.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Yeah, no.
I remember for Saturday morning cartoons, definitely remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. New Kids on the Block cartoon. Definitely fucking watch that. Of course, Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes has been around so fucking long. Oh, yeah. But, watch the Animaniacs, watched, I can't remember what it was called, but it was basically the Looney Tunes, like, updated version. I don't remember what the fuck that one was called. God, I can see it, but I can't think of it. Yeah. She-Ra when that was on. Yeah, Transformers. Didn't they have a cartoon? I think they had a cartoon. I think I watched that one.
Was the original Scooby-Doo for me. Saturday mornings. Obviously, Looney Tunes. What else? What else was there? Wacky Races.
Tiny Toons. Thank you, Kim.
Tiny Toons that came later for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wacky Races. There was.
Didn't watch. No.
Fat Albert.
Yeah, no, never watched that. That was definitely before my time.
Yeah, those were all. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a vague memory of the original X-Men cartoon, but I don't think I was focused on it. But no. And then I remember, was it on Sunday nights? There was one night in the week, and I thought it was a weekend night, where it'd be like a Disney classic, like, was it on ABC or was it on some other network station? But it'd be like, you know, that was where I got to watch like Mary Poppins and Bedknobs and Broomsticks, which never stuck with me. I never really cared about that one.
Mm-hmm.
And those, at the time in the 80s, maybe up into the early 90s, you know, the classics from Disney that were not like their animated stuff or whatever. Yeah.
Kim, Speed Racer. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yes.
I probably watched that, but
Thunderbirds. That was another one. Cartoon Thunderbirds. It was weird. They were puppets, and it was like
puppets.
Yeah.
I have I get kind of icked out when I have puppets. I'm not a. The Wonderful World of Disney. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it was. That's what I'm remembering.
Yeah, every Sunday night at 7:00, The Wonderful World of Disney.
Yes, and most of the time my parents would put that on and let me watch whatever. Oh, and for a brief moment in time we did have Disney, like very brief, and the animated Robin Hood. Definitely had a crush on a fucking fox.
Yeah.
To this day, still think that's a damn sexy fox. Glad you could join us, Slade Strife.
Yep. Have a good evening. Stop motion. That's what they called it. Yes. Okay. And Gumby.
No, never did watch that.
Gumby was another cartoon when I was young.
You know. I know I saw bits of episodes of Captain Kangaroo.
Oh, yes.
But never enough for it to like be a thing where I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely watched that.
Oh no,
Speaking of which, and was that on a Saturday or was that other times? I don't know why it's in my head, but I know I watched it a lot. The Gong Show.
That was like a nighttime.
Was it a night?
It was a game show.
My
nighttime
dad controlled
game show.
the remote. I sat on the couch. That's what I did. Yeah, I think I just remember that because of the fucking gong.
Yeah, marionettes. Okay, that's right. Yeah, because they did the
Either
string.
way.
Apparently, the other night, when I had the TV on and it was scrolling through, apparently they made a Thunderbirds movie at some point.
That wouldn't surprise me, but
Yeah.
I don't know why Samurai Pizza Cats sounds familiar because I have zero memory of anything like that silent, but I feel like I've heard of that. I cared not one fucking iota for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but damn, I would think I would just like be like, I guess I gotta watch this before I can get to the next thing I want to watch. But I did watch it.
Yes, Gumby was definitely stop motion.
Yeah,
And there were a few other cartoons around like that. There was one that I used to watch. It was the only cartoon that was on that aired in our area on Sunday mornings. It's called Davy and Goliath.
That would make sense for Sunday morning.
Boy and his dog.
Oh, sorry.
And,
I was like, that's a Bible story.
Yeah, no. Oh no, it was. It did
Oh,
have.
that's why it was on Sunday morning.
Yes. Yeah.
Darkwing Duck. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Inspector Gadget. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah. Go Gadget.
I've got another one in my brain and I can't think of what the name of it was. DuckTales! That's what I was actually thinking of. Thank you. I was like, why can't I think of DuckTales? Thank you. Yes. Night, Mally. Now I just want to watch Saturday morning cartoons, but knowing me, I would ruin my own fucking childhood.
Underdog was another cartoon.
See, yeah, definitely never watched that. I watched the Jetsons in syndication a little bit, but then there came a point where it was just gone and I never saw it again. So I know that I watched it, but
So there was Underdog, Yogi Bear.
yeah.
The Jetsons, Flintstones.
Mm-hmm. I would definitely watch the Flintstones.
Yep.
Definitely watch that.
A couple others, but they're...
Basically everything by Hanna-Barbera or whatever the name was.
And I can't remember the name of the cartoon, per se. It was the one with the kid with the smart dog and the Wayback Machine.
Fuck, yeah. They did a reboot of a movie just a few years ago.
Yes.
Cannot remember what that's called, but
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Help me out here. The Wayback Machine.
Chip and Dale. Yes. Yes.
Rocky and Bullwinkle, yeah. Mighty Mouse, yes. And Adam Ant.
Yeah, no. I
some of
heard
the others, yeah.
of those things, but no, never really. Rocky and Bullwinkle, yep, definitely watched that.
Johnny Quest, yeah.
Why are they making Twilight into a cartoon? What the fuck?
Wow.
What the fuck? No. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know apparently there was a Care Bears cartoon, and I probably watched it because I was obsessed with Care Bears. I think there might have been a My Little Pony thing, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yes, Mr. Peabody and Sherman.
Yes, because we watched the
movie that they made.
Most recent movie.
Yep.
For anybody who's just joining us, this is still a Q&A. You can't ask questions. But as I keep trying to warn people, it gets fucking random, and here we are.
With a deep dive into cartoons.
Yes. Jimmy Neutron I watched with the kids. I did watch Jimmy Neutron with the kids.
Yes, Tom and Jerry.
I saw a little bit of Tom and Jerry, but not like, as much. I heard of gargoyles, but I have no memory of ever actually watching them. Yeah, no, I read the book Captain Underpants with my children. There we go. I've aged myself. No, Raven.
No.
I mean, most of them are kink related, but you can.
Yeah.
I mean, you can ask anything. Yeah, I loved Care Bears. We did not have money when I was a kid, so I think I had a Care Bear. I had to love my Rainbow Bright till she practically disintegrated. I had 2 My Little Ponies.
Cat, yes.
Oh, Pound Puppies, which was a toy, and I don't know what. I think the toy came first, and then they made the cartoon. But I remember the Pound Puppies. The cartoon was like for half a second or something, because I was obsessed with Pound Puppies, and I only ever had one of those 2.
Top Cat exit stage left.
No, don't get the reference. Now I just want to watch Schitt's Creek again. I would like to be a burrito on the couch, except I can't be because I will sweat and then I'll be pissy. But I'd like to be a burrito on the couch with a nice little drinky drink and a crunchy, salty snack. And I am looking for snack ideas that give you a similar mouthfeel to potato chips, but do not require 85 years in a kitchen or specialty ingredients. If anybody, I'm willing to put in minimal work, but I'd really prefer to be lazy. So if anybody has any ideas, let me know. Oh God, Tales from the Crypt Keeper, Goosebumps. I never really watched it. I think I was right on the edge of aging out of it, but I remember seeing the opening for Tales of the Crypt Keeper, and it freaked me the fuck out, and I went, I can't watch this. Oh my gosh. Don't get the references, respect. I'm sorry.
Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yeah, I was aware of it as a kid. I have actually, quite frankly, more experience with Clifford the Big Red Dog as a parent than I did as a kid. Yes, I watched MASH with my family all the fucking time. I loved that show.
Me too.
Even when I did not fully understand understand.
I was so sad when that show ended.
Yeah. I remember watching the last episode.
Yeah.
I think I probably watched the last episode in syndication, but I remember watching the last episode and crying. Mr. Spock, I'm looking for whatever's cheapest and most accessible. Popcorn. Yeah, you might. I love popcorn. I hate the popcorn kernel thingies getting in stuck between my teeth. That's what I hate. I do love popcorn though.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the same. I've realized I have a special obsession with potato chips. It's not about the potato chip. I love a potato, y'all. It's the crunch and the salt, which, among other things, it can be a sensory seeking thing. I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Because sometimes I'm standing in the kitchen eating potato chips going, I don't even fucking want this potato chip. But also, I've got to crunch. I need the crunch. And carrots and fucking celery don't fucking hit, okay? It's not the same. It's not the same.
What was it? Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah, I didn't watch that, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot that came on Nickelodeon when I did not have any access to cable that was there, and then I never got to watch, and then some of it came back over or came to Nickelodeon when I did have access, and then I didn't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So... oh no, I've lived the rice cake life. No, I don't like rice cakes. I see Andre's question. I'm making sure we didn't miss. Raven asked if we ever tried diamond painting. No, my mother is fucking obsessed with it though. We have several finished pieces in our house hanging on our walls that she made for us. She fucking loves it. She actually made, I have on my vanilla Etsy shop, some diamond art corner bookmarks that she made from kits, and she was like, here, do you want to put these on your Etsy shop? That's the Etsy shop she knows about because it's vanilla. And I went, yeah, sure, absolutely. So that's as close as I get to it. My thing is cross stitch when my eyes and lighting will cooperate. Diamond painting never did it for me. That was a little too tedious for me, but my mother loves it, and I'm the reason. You know, I'm good for you people with hobbies and shit. Because I'm the reason she finally did diamond art painting. Because I bought her, like, a gift. Because she was like, I think I want to try it, but I'm afraid to try it. Because what if I don't like it and I've spent all the money? So, on Amazon, I bought her a couple of little kits. So, risk-free, she could try.
And then she never looked back.
Yep. And I did kind of the same thing with him in woodworking. He wanted to learn woodworking, but wasn't really going to do anything with it because it was like, oh, well, whatever. So I bought him a gift card to Woodcraft, and he could use it to take a class on woodworking to make a pen, and here we fucking are.
Well, yeah, I mean, that time we lived in an apartment, and I was like, I'd really like to try woodworking, but, I don't know. And, yeah, you got me the gift card. I ended up taking the pen turning class, and just kind of rolled with it.
Andre asked, did any new woods come available lately or Purple Heart?
Dexter's Laboratory. Oh my God, I love Dexter.
I never got into that. I mean, I was aware of it, but I
loved Dexter. Loved Dexter. Woods.
The only thing you have with Purple Heart right now is on some pocket paddles where it's like little slivers of Purple Heart.
Little slivers of Purple Heart.
I think we have one or two of those left.
Yeah, I do not have any full pieces of Purple Heart right now. I was at the sawmill today, and basically I just grabbed some of the essentials that we needed. The walnut, maple, and cherry. But I did get a piece of a new type of wood that I had not seen before, and it looks very interesting. It's called Black Limba, Limba.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
And I'm really looking forward to working with that and seeing what that looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your sawmill friend is getting and has some really good exotic woods, and we have to sell more paddles before we can buy more of that. We went for the basic woods.
Right. I mean, he did. Excuse me. He did have some Purple Heart there. With the budget I had this time, it was a little bit out of my price range.
Yeah, we had to pull that budget out of our fucking ass.
Yeah.
It's like, do we have a business? Do we want to keep making paddles?
Yeah.
We're going to make this work.
Molly, I love chickpeas.
I had one time I successfully-ish did crispy chickpeas, and I remember making them and going, oh, here's how I should modify them. And then never did. And we've got like 3 cans of chickpeas in the pantry. And I know I can do it in the air fryer. And I think I wanted recently, I was like, maybe I should do crispy chickpeas in the air fryer, and then realized I really need to clean out the air fryer. It is, I should be ashamed of myself. I'm not, but I should be. But that's actually, that might do right if I can get the chickpeas crisped just right.
Yeah.
Because those were good. They were imperfect the first time I made them, but they were good.
I love chickpeas, period. I'll eat them right out of the can. But, I love them in salads. I've had them in salads. My grandmother used to make a pasta with chickpeas in it.
I don't
Hummus.
like chickpeas like as hummus. It's fine. I don't like straight out of the can chickpeas. I don't like the texture, but I did like the crispy ones when I made them.
Okay.
I just have to perfect that. Talking about like Jack Skellington for diamond painting. My mom found, she still managed to get it available before it got yanked down. I found a Doctor Who diamond painting.
Yeah.
And it is hanging in what I have termed the geek section of our living room.
Yeah.
She also did one that's kind of a semi-iconic image of an outline of a pitty. She did one of a pretty like purples and grays. I can't even remember what the fuck is on. I think it's flowers. That's in our bedroom. She's done some for the boys' rooms, including like a superhero Marvel-ish themed one. There's some cool shit you can do with diamond painting.
Night, Kim.
Maybe that's what I'll do. Then maybe over the weekend after I clean my air fryer, I'll try chickpeas again.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I have roasted chickpeas before in the oven. Didn't think probably in the
one time I made them, I let you try them because I was like, do you want to? And I think you and I both, when I was picking them up off the pan, because I'd done them in the oven, some were really crispy and some were not. And I think that was the one you got was a not crispy, and you went, I mean, this is okay. I like chickpeas. I was like, no, this is not the texture I was going for. So. My headache's gone, but now I'm very sleepy. And I keep clenching my jaw. I can feel it. I've got to stop doing that.
Believe it or not, my headache's gone now, too.
Good.
Which I'm grateful for. I'm wondering if it was because I let myself get dehydrated today.
True. And also, we just sort of walk around perpetually like tense these days.
What?
I know. I know.
Yeah.
We are going to allow the 18-year-old to do something that we thought we would never allow him to do.
Yeah.
He's been home all week for spring break. He probably won't even go home till Sunday. I thought he'd leave on Saturday. He was like, no, I'll stay till Sunday. Okay. But he needs to put his motorcycle in the shop. It is like at a point where if he tries to drive it too much, it's going to fail on him because there's a part that needs to be replaced. But if all he had was school, well, there's the fucking bus for that. But he has a job now, and he needs that money, and he needs to whatever. He manages his own schedule, but he still needs the ability to get there and not be worried that a bus is going to delay him. So we're going to let him take my car.
Yeah.
Back to school. Now, he has said that he thinks he will probably mostly drive it to and from work. I imagine when he wants to go get groceries, if he wants to go out with a friend, I think it'll be used for that too. But he's not going to try.
If it's raining.
And he should. He said he'll use the bus to get to campus because parking on campus sucks if you don't have a bike. You need 2 wheels to be able to park anywhere on campus. But I'm like, okay, we're doing it. We're doing it. Okay, let's.
Yeah.
Whew.
And yes, menthol's my vape tonight.
So, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've helped him do some work on the bike over time that he's had it. few things here and there, but what he needs done on the bike now is a little bit beyond my capabilities.
And since he's paying to have his bike repaired, I'm like, okay, I don't have to front that expense. I'll just bite my nails while you have the car for however long.
Yeah.
Jess asked, do you have advice for attending your first in-person play party with a vanilla partner? Before you go, make sure that vanilla partner understands as much about, what's the word I want? There's a word. It's sort of like the manners and the expectations of behavior. There's a word and I can't think of it, for how to behave in those spaces. If you are kinky, I imagine even if you've never been to one, you've heard protocol and etiquette, like what to do and what not to do. Make sure your partner knows that. I'm hoping for your sake in general, but for the party's sake, that they do not need to be yucking on anybody's yum. If they see something that they do not understand, they need to wait until y'all leave before they ask or say anything. If you are comfortable with the people throwing the play party, like you can reach out and ask, like, hey, what kind of play usually happens? What kind of what can I expect in this space? Go ahead and maybe warn your partner.
Yeah.
Because, vanilla does not always mean unaware of kink or not respectful of kink. But sometimes if you're not like steeped in the kink space, even online, there will be things that might shock somebody.
Right. Yeah.
They may behave in a way that's like they would not normally, but they're like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like those reactions, that's for private. Those are inside thoughts while you're at the play party. That's true for anybody, but for a non-kink person, just make sure. Remind yourself and them, nobody is obligated to play. Nobody is obligated to take their clothes off. No
one will do anything to them without consent.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
So. Yeah. And DS Bunny said if they, have a 101 night, some prior, let them attend that so that they have a little understanding of what's what.
Yep, exactly. Spirit Cats asked, I watched the first season of Bonding on Netflix and it was okay, but I was wondering your opinion on it. So, fun fact, the one and only reaction video we've ever done is for our Patreon members and anybody who maybe joins through YouTube as an exclusive video. And I've never done another one because it was hell on earth to edit. But 15 minutes of an episode, first episode of Bonding.
Yeah.
And I believe I ranted for no less than 30 minutes.
You did.
I have heard second season is better.
Same.
But I have not yet gone back to put myself through the first season.
I started watching the first season, and I got probably about halfway through it and just stopped. And I mean, I've heard everybody who has watched it has said, the second season gets better.
They took in advice and took in feedback.
They took the advice and feedback,
right.
and they actually made changes to the show.
Right.
But I never made it through the first season, and I've just never revisited it.
Yeah. No, it was sort of fun to rant, but it was also frustrating to rant. That was just the first 15-minute episode, and I was frothing at the mouth.
Yeah.
So I'm so far not a fan.
Yeah.
But several people have said second season is much better. So.
Yep.
I think it's because I don't watch a lot of TV, movie, whatever, and it doesn't really stick in my head much. I don't like when a new kink oriented thing comes out. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, and I'm happy to tell everybody else about it. I don't gravitate to that. Like it just doesn't. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't care. There is it a South Korean show or movie? Love and Leashes, I think it was. It came out a couple years ago. I think it's supposed to be pretty good. I think it might be on Netflix. I'm not 100% sure. Please don't anybody quote me on that. I don't know why that has stuck in my head, but I think that exists. So
I've not heard of that.
My
We'll
brain
have
is
to.
reading your name as Band Sans. I don't know if that's actually your name, but I do see this question. Just as a reminder, everybody, please tag us in questions. What did you think of 50 Shades of Grey? Never watched it, never read it, tried to read one page back in the day and went, oh no, this is not for me. I've never been interested in any of it. 50 Shades.
Yeah. I read all the books, and I read it, and I took it as fantasy erotica as it was meant to, and not even that good fantasy erotica. So, Love and Leashes was a movie made in 2022.
Okay, I knew it was a couple years old.
Just a hair under 2 hours long. And apparently it is, well, it says Netflix Asia.
Okay. Tayshu, yes. So many consent violations on the first fucking episode.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the reason that Love and Leashes came to mind, it was actually in my brain hole. I was putting together the newsletter last week, and I look for articles that are BDSM focused, and this article popped up in my Google alert that talked about a new movie about BDSM, and I was like, but then I started reading the article, and I was like, no, this sounds familiar, and I went back and looked. I think the article had been updated on the site recently, but the article was 2 years old, and I went, oh yeah, no. That's the only reason I fucking remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the writing quality of 50 Shades is what kept me away from it. I had a lot of professional colleague, friend-like people in my life at the time who fucking loved it. And I tried to read it, but the writing was awful.
Yeah.
And my friend went,
and
we're not reading it for the writing. And I was like, oh,
when the first book came out, I was still working in the office. Mm-hmm. And all the women read it, and they were just heads over heels about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of the women I knew professionally at the time were like that. We were sitting in a committee meeting, and the official meeting had ended, and several women just started gushing over the books, and I was like, meh.
Yeah.
And I think I even said something about it not being very realistic, because I was just at that point just starting to learn about kink, so I would never have talked about it at work anyway, but was like not like confident in myself talking about it. And that was another thing a person said. They were like, I'm not worried about it being realistic. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, it was funny. I listened to all the office talk about 50 Shades. And they were going on and on about it for forever. Seemed like forever. And I finally said to one of them, I said, look, I have a friend, very good friend, who's in a BDSM relationship, and it is nothing like what they wrote in the books.
The majority of the definitely non-kinky people that I knew who enjoyed it, they did not care. Mm-hmm. They liked the smut, and more power to them. I don't like it as media, as content, but I respect the fact that it drew people into kink who they did not maybe know at the time that what they were reading was not real, and that's not how that should go, but they were drawn to it. It's the same way when I watched the movie Secretary. I had to watch it twice to know that it was about BDSM. First time I watched Secretary, I was drawn to it, and that's a very toxic, non-consensual, like, what the fuck is going on there? But something about it clicked with me, and that's the same for 50 Shades. So to me, it's like, yeah, for all the hate 50 Shades like legitimately gets, it helped people.
Yeah.
I mean, did it send some people to the ER? Sure. But it, helped people go, oh, this might be me. And then we've got people in the lifestyle now who might never have explored kink if they hadn't read it or watched the movie.
And that's the way it's always been. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed the gore books, but and I know there are people who have managed to adopt the Gorian lifestyle, but the books, there's no way you're living that for real. Same thing as the Beauty series.
Oh yeah.
All right. I enjoyed it. I read all the books and I liked it.
I liked
but there was nothing realistic about it.
I liked the Beauty series until the last book, and then I was like, what the fuck is happening here in this last book? The first 3 books, yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where I was drawn to the eroticism of it, the power and control, but not a thing on there would have entered my mind as, oh, sure, we can replicate this.
Yeah.
You know, of the people who say that they live the Gorian life, see, with what I understand about living a kink life in a capitalistic society where you got to go to fucking work, I'm giving side eye to all the people now who are like, oh, we definitely lived an authentic Gorian life. No, the fuck you didn't. You had bills to pay and either a kid to care for or a parental figure that you had to like go help at some point in life. No, the fuck you didn't, but you did to the extent you could, and whatever. So, I mean, I think Raven's asking, are there any good movies about BDSM? I think good is going to be in the eye of the beholder. If we're talking realistic, the reviews I've read about Love and Leashes on Netflix probably come the closest of anything I've ever heard. Prior to that, other than that, every piece of content that I've ever come across that's made about BDSM has its problematic things. Bonding got better in the second season, but the first season was like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah.
50 Shades has its issues. Secretary, which is my favorite kink movie.
I like that movie myself.
My God.
Yeah.
Look, I remembered a favorite movie. Is problematic. The Story of O, problematic. Like,
you know, I never read that.
I read it and then kind of went in one eyeball and out the other. I know that I watched scenes from it. Maybe I found them online or whatever, and I was like, meh. So I think some of the potential, air quote this, best BDSM representation is probably a lot more recent because there's enough of an online community who'll raise their hand and go, what the fuck are you doing portraying BDSM this way?
That's right. 9.5, Stephanie mentioned 9.5 weeks. Never saw it, but I remember. Wasn't there another movie?
Exit to Eden?
Exit to Eden. But
here's the thing that pisses me off. The movie did BDSM for laughs, and the movie, I watched it years ago, and a very thin Rosie O'Donnell. Apparently she, like, practically killed herself to lose the weight for that damn movie. And then, like, a decade and a half after I watched the movie, I read the book, and it is so far from the movie. I was pissed. The book was actually pretty good.
I read the book before I saw the movie.
Oh, see, I didn't even know it was a book.
I read the book before I saw the movie.
Right.
And I was like, what the fuck? Because it was a comedy.
Yeah, it was
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, and it was played the kink off for laughs. And then I read the book and I was like, what the fuck is even happening here?
Yeah.
Do I remember the book? No, but I remember reading the book.
Now, wasn't there another movie that supposedly had a kink element that came out over the last few years? For some reason, the 365 or something, was it?
Yeah, and that was I'd never watched it, and I'd never read all the reviews. I think there was what people were saying online, so take that with a grain of salt. It was that there were problematic elements, I think, involving consent.
Okay.
The movie that was about the creator of Wonder Woman,
yes,
had both poly and a bit of kink in it.
Yes.
I don't know how accurate any of that was. I never looked that up, but I remember feeling like when I was watching the elements of both the polyamory and the little bit of kink, was like when I saw imperfections in it, I felt like I didn't know if that was true to life to the people, but that it made sense in the context of people who are like fumbling their way through a thing that they don't even have a language for, to try and figure out. And again, you have to remember, when I watch movies and TV shows and even read books, all I remember are vibes later. So I could even be misremembering that, but that's what I remember thinking.
Yeah, and Bandstand's new 365 Days on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
The only thing I ever saw of it was one scene where the main, what I believe is the main male character, somehow in a erotic way grabs a female character and it's like all sexy. And I remember going, oh, I could probably watch that. And then I ended up reading some little bit of commentary somewhere online, and I was like, oh, but I also don't really, you know me, if you don't sit me down and then turn it on for me, I'm not fucking watching it. So, but Scuba Ninja asks, if you were going to write a BDSM superhero movie, what power does the hero have, the villain?
Oh goodness.
I mean, somebody's got to have power over rope.
Yeah.
Sort of like Wonder Woman, quite frankly. Let's just put Wonder Woman in with her rope. I don't know. I'm not good at that. I don't know.
The villain? As a villain, I would probably say
they don't communicate and they don't care about consent.
Don't communicate and don't care about consent. There you go.
George Little, I've never heard of S&M Sally.
No.
Okay. That's the one I've heard of. So, Tayshu said earlier, most BDSM shows feel like the writer heard a story about it from a friend who said something once.
Yeah.
That feels accurate. Yeah. Yeah, because you can kind of tell once they get somebody knowledgeable in the writer room to be like, no, that's not how that should go.
Yep.
Oh, Andre, that's a good one. Somebody
Yeah.
can make you orgasm with just a touch. Yeah. Oh, BDSM villain with the vibrator, then that's all forced orgasms and or edging.
Yeah.
One or both? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Tayshu, that's the one I was thinking about. Mars, it was, I can't remember the name of it either, but that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. I know, I'm not good at any of that. I saw all that, BDSM hero Bob. I saw all the spam come up and went, I don't have to do a fucking thing. The moderators are on it.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
It's been a long time since we've had any.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah.
That's what happens, Silent. You can't wander off.
Right.
Okay?
I heard Lola moving about.
She's not been in here at all tonight, y'all. No, I'm sitting here trying to think if there's anything that I've come across that I think the nicest thing to see, and it's hit or miss, it's not consistent, but the thing I've enjoyed seeing the most is that in fiction, the BDSM representation is getting better. There are still plenty of people who are fucking it up left and right, but there are more and more authors who are like, oh, okay, let me see if I can get this at least mostly right. You know, if I can do some research or if I can talk to somebody or whatever. And that's been nice. I don't dread reading a new-ish, and I don't even know how to categorize what I mean by new-ish, a new-ish BDSM erotica whatever book, because it's like, there might be something in there I don't like. It's not my favorite, but so far, knock on wood, most of it's been decent. I know the crap still exists, but yeah, that's been nicer.
Okay.
Night, Molly.
Good night. Okay, S&M Sally was a movie made in 2015.
Okay.
And it looks like currently it is on Voodoo Tubi.
Do we have a synopsis about what the hell it's
and
about?
Amazon Prime. Jamie and Jill explore the world of BDSM while their friends David and Lola compete to see who will go through with a threesome.
Okay. I mean, why do we have to compete? Can't it just be a foursome? And let's move on. I am here for all of the why choose, orgy, 85 people in the bed. I'm
Right.
not sure how that is even physically possible kind of sex. I am learning that I'm not into insta love, and if there's going to be insta lust, there better still be some like they kind of have to not still like each other. I am a true enemies to lovers fan. When I was saying way earlier in the stream that I'd been reading a little bit of Omegaverse and I've just been disappointed with it. I think it's that. It's like, I have met my fated mate, or my Omega, or however that works in that realm. And like, I am instantly in love with you. And I'm just like, I don't care how kinky the sex is now. Like, the first one I read over the past couple days, one of the partners was like, I have a daddy dom thing. Have you ever heard of daddy dom? And I was like, oh, this will be interesting. And then the caregiving stuff that he wanted to do was barely in the rest of the book. And like, none of the sex felt particularly kinky in any way because they all just were like, because they were all alphas or whatever, the way that worked. It was all like they were going to take her anyway. And I was like, oh, you're not scratching my itch here. So.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Mm-hmm. Jess, it's fine. I mean, you can ask multiple questions. It's cool. Jess says, what is the purpose of addressing the dominant with a title? I'm trying to explain it to my vanilla but kink interested fiance. Usually a sign of respect.
Yeah.
There's a headspace thing. I mean, I don't call him John, but he's John to the whole fucking world. But he's daddy to me. And that's a reiteration and a reminder of our roles and who we are to one another. Sometimes it's just fucking preference. I mean, I've definitely met kinksters who don't really use titles and labels and honorifics.
For some, it's a matter of protocol.
Right. This is how our relationship is structured. This is a rule requirement. The reasons behind it might be personal, but it's this is the way our power exchange is managed. Protocol. It's a way to let, if you're in a kink space, to let other people know who you are to one another. There's lots of reasons to use an honor. Quite frankly, the biggest one is it's personal. It's like that's what somebody wants to be called. Then they have their own individual reasons underlying it. But in my experience, I think it's a lot of a perception of respect from the submissive to their dominant, and a headspace thing. Because anybody can call you John. Yeah. But if I call you Daddy, that means something.
That means something.
Yep. My workaround when I'm not in a space where I want to call him Daddy, he's JB for John Brownstone, because I don't like calling him John. Or he's Mr. John, because that feels like an honorific, but that's what the kids call him, because he's not their bio dad. And so I get around that by being able to call him Mr. John, but he knows what it means when I say it. So... Rebecca asks, have you thought about doing content on differing toys or equipment and how to use them properly for those who've been vanilla and have entered BDSM? So we have done the content on toys. We try to do it on YouTube. It gets taken down. We have to be PG when we do it anyway. We try to do it through Patreon.
That didn't work.
And Patreon wanted to have us take it down. I know there are ways around like direct showing. We considered doing something like that when we were doing OnlyFans, but we're not both enthusiastic about OnlyFans, and that was the requirement, and so OnlyFans has died out. But it would have to be behind a paywall that allows adult content. Right. Even if we did it in a PG-13 kind of way, because every time we've tried to do it, it's been age restricted, it's been taken down, we've been threatened with losing an account. So the content exists out there. Kink Academy, I think, is one good resource. It is geared towards kinky people or people who know they are kinky, but it is a great educational platform, and most of it's behind a paid wall on their own site. They're not using a YouTube or a Patreon or anything. But to build our own thing and host our own video, we do not have the resources or the time for that. So
one more thing to do.
We tried to do it in what felt like the easiest or the least friction kind of way with platforms that already existed, and none of them are really friendly to it.
Nope.
There absolutely are YouTube channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers and hundreds of thousands and millions of views on content where they like talk about that kind of stuff. But I have found that those folks tend to be stereotypically attractive. And they're already so big, they're probably not monetized, but YouTube's not yanking them. We have never had that luck, and I don't think it's because of our looks. I think it's because we're small, and so nobody gives a fuck. There's not enough people to bitch. And we're not exactly creating a lot of ad revenue for YouTube, so why would they care about us? But yeah, the folks I have noticed who can kind of get away with content that is not actually allowed, that's what it tends to be.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Oh my gosh, I'm sleepy. It just hit me. We got like 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Yes, Andre, we have to have Spanx for Dollars night. And one, I don't want to do that too much because then it's not special. And two, when we do that is always, one, a lot of fun, and we are appreciative of every dollar we solicit. I don't know how to put that. It takes about 2 months for that payday. It's never minimum. So it's not even a
quick thing. Yeah. No.
If we were gonna do it, and I don't even know if OnlyFans is the platform I would use anymore, because OnlyFans is, from what I'm learning from other people who are on OnlyFans as adult creators, they are slowly turning to the, ew, no, not the adult stuff that made us our money. And so there are a lot of OnlyFans creators that are very worried they're gonna start blocking and banning and whatever adult stuff. So there are other like loyal fans, and there's another Fansly. And if we were to do it, that's where we would have to do it. I mean, don't tempt me with a good idea / time, but we just don't have
even FetLife, you can put videos up, but you have to be a FetLife supporter in order to view the videos.
Yeah. So, but
see, Christy, we're providing a service.
We are. I am. You know what I'm happy to protect other S-types asses. Happy to perform that service for you. What I am also learning is I apparently have no qualms about looking foolish on the internet. Do I, after the stream is over and like the next day when my head is clear, go, what happens if a totally random person just comes across the stream? I don't really worry what they think, but I also kind of like, what are they thinking? Like, yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm getting tired too. It's been a long day.
It has been. It's been a long week.
It's been a good day, but a long day.
Yes, because you're just happy you got your play day and wood.
Yep.
And you get to play with wood.
Yeah.
You think that however you'd like to imagine that. Look, speaking of somebody playing with his wood, I
play with my wood every damn day.
I know you do, because I walk into our bathroom and our bedroom, and I can tell when he's had a good time because there's a new toy on the edge of the sink that's been cleaned. And I don't know what you were doing the other day, but I walked in and there was a toy that I think got a quick rinse, but you didn't have time for anything, because I looked at it and went, well, that is very sticky. I don't know what he did with that. The toy was not obvious how it would have gotten sticky. I was like, I don't know what he was doing, but I think he had a good time. And then I just left it the fuck alone, and like 24 hours later, it was gone.
Yep. Yep.
No, when we were doing OnlyFans, I desperately wanted to get to a point where we could do live streams of actual impact play and scenes. The problem with doing like actual like in a scene kind of way is it's a setup thing. It's also a noise thing. At the time of day where we would have the most ability to do that, there is somebody else around, and we don't try to make that kind of noise with scening if we can help it. And our bedroom would be the best place to do it.
Yeah.
But we actually never, yes, we could live stream from our phones. That's definitely a thing that you're capable of in this day and age. But it was like, we just never could figure out the right time, the right setup.
Yeah.
I desperately wanted to do it. I am such an exhibitionist. I'm like, please spank my ass in front of a live audience. I'm here for this shit. Right. Oh, and a live audience that can vote with their dollars as to what happens next. I'm fucking here for it. We just could never make
it
the
work.
Logistics work. Here's the thing. If we could ever make the logistics work, I don't think I'd worry about creating content separately. I think I would absolutely do live streams on an adult platform just of that.
Just to do that.
Just to do that. Absolutely. So.
Silent, when we lived in the condo, that was the first time I lived in a place that had an ensuite bathroom.
Really? Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Never had one before.
I had not always had one, but in some of the places. So here's what's funny:
and from that, after that, that was like
you'll never do.
Never do.
So here's what's funny: as the kids got older, and as the kids got older, and we had an ensuite bathroom, there would invariably be usually the oldest, because the youngest is like, "This is my bathroom, and it is then the only bathroom I can ever use." That's fine. The oldest would be like, shit, the youngest is in the bathroom. Can I go use your bathroom? And when he was really young, I would probably go do like a sweep, like make sure there's nothing in there. And then the day came when I forgot, sent him in there and went, oh God, there's a dildo on the toilet, like drying. What the fuck? And I realized as long as I didn't say anything, he probably didn't notice. It was fine. But as he got older and much more aware of kind of like what we did professionally, sort of, I had to start going, you can go use our bathroom, but I don't know what you're going to see in there. And you can't unsee what you're going to see.
Right.
And he's always been the one that's like, I got no fucks to give. So he will use our bathroom in any state.
Yeah.
However many toys might be around a sink or something. He's like, whatever, I don't care.
Night, Raven. Thanks for joining us. It's 4 minutes to midnight.
It is 4 minutes to midnight. Last call for a question. Please tag us.
I thought alcohol was going to put in my order.
You can't keep your eyes open. You don't get any alcohol. Please tag us if you have a question so we can see it. It just... Andre, I believe you would be. I believe you would subscribe to that particular channel if we did that.
And I'm glad your car is finally getting in to be worked on too.
Oh my Lord, yeah. That's a long time to wait.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I mean, we had to wait for our car, but that was because COVID at that time was
kind of it was a supply chain thing, and most of the car mechanics were way backed up. Yeah. But the first mechanic, our car, when it got crunched, got taken to, they were like, it'll be 3 months. They couldn't even park it in their lot where all the cars they're working on get fixed. And then I called around, found another place. They were like, it'll take us a couple weeks, but yeah. And I got that shit towed from there to there. And we were still without the car for like a month.
Yeah.
But that was better than the 3+ months.
Right.
So. No, I would absolutely seen live stream on an adult platform in a fucking heartbeat. I don't know how you would feel about it, because you tend to get not shy, but like you're the voyeur. You're not really comfortable being perceived.
Right.
And I'm all like, I happily will shake my fucking ass, okay? The problem I had with OnlyFans, because I still technically have a personal OnlyFans, and you don't have to pay to subscribe to it. My problem was, one, I do not have the skills for photography. I haven't developed them, and I don't really care to develop them. And I don't like to perform alone to an audience. That's too much being perceived. I like to have sort of somebody there with me who's actually controlling everything, and I just get to be my happy little submissive baby girl masochistic self. But so that was always the struggle I had with that. I really tried, but it was my self-esteem is not developed enough to handle looking at myself and going, I don't even like what I see, but I have to try to pretend I'm sexy. And then I get all like, feel so awkward trying to make a sexy face to the camera. And I was like, I need shit done to me. I need to be directed. But yeah. X, don't worry about prepaying because I don't know when we'll do that next. Right? So you just hold that thought. Mm-hmm. But I appreciate that. So.
It was fun tonight.
It was fun tonight. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was the Tylenol or if it was y'all, but my head doesn't hurt anymore.
Same.
And we've planned our life so we do not have to wake up early.
No.
The yard work will happen on Sunday.
Sunday.
Do have to go to the grocery store, but that's fine. It's fine.
And I need to go to Lowe's and get eyelets.
Yes, because butt plug keychains are about to be restocked. Yes, that's the thing we sell on the Kinkery. Thekinkery.com. So yeah. Yes, Silent, I've never felt more awkward and just than trying to do that. So anyway, it is midnight.
Yes, it is.
So we're gonna go. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're on break next week.
Yeah.
There will be a Monday episode because, well, if somebody edits the podcast for me this weekend. But otherwise we will be back in a week to do our stuff again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna go.
Yep.
We love you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here.
Bye.
Bye.